Hello everybody, you're watching Foxicalicus. As promised, welcome back to Tiny Bunny. We are right back where we left off, so I think before we do anything, we're gonna open this. The dark, stuffy closet. My mom says it smells like mice. But how would she know their smell? I was thinking that, how do you know what a mouse smells like? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Olya can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the doors, turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. And I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Olya count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Okay, that's all there is in there. Never mind, I thought I'd get something. To the kitchen! Hi, Mom. Anyway. Open. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olya there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. There's nothing for me in here. What's this? This is medicine. There's medicine in here. Whose medicine is this? Mom? I'm gonna lie to you. Mom? Something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. Oh, you're killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console. Kinescope. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange. It worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olya's room. She's distracted! Oh wait, there was something in there. Can I interact with you? There's no time for this. Mom will come back soon. Wait, I want to interact. I didn't know I could interact with so much. Senior Lieutenant. Ah. I'm stealing that. I didn't know I could actually, do stuff. Dang it. Okay, anyway. Can I have the... No, I want the axe. To the front yard! Yonder! Is that an out? Hey, I see you. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. Grow! I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash. That's in my game. Good lord. But the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears. Distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. And a barely audible whisper in my head. Blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent. I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olya. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olya turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olya present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? Huh? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dusts and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Hey! Howdy! Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. What are you? Glossary. Oh, look at that! Oh! Okay, so, nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Accountant. Yeah. Ah. Huh. Mini, mystery TV series. Well, that's cool. This is cool! Okay, good to know. That's I love that they do that. That's lovely that they include that. I need my light to go away so we can return to our darkness and atmosphere, but alas. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Fova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Oh, that was supposed to be way more spooky than I did it. My bad. Vova. There we go. Where it sounded closer to me. Someone was standing there, behind the trees. Hiding. Vova. Where? I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still. Something was unsettling about that figure. Where? I'm looking for someone. Its stillness. How it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. I don't see the figure. Its blackness. No, there's no one there. Just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh, ooh! A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. That was something! I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. I'm looking for something. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Take! I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. I'm gonna get got. Oh no! Oh dear. Vova! Shoot, I made a mistake. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. I stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. Oh, I pulled harder. The branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet, I squeezed it without thinking, and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Is that blood? It's too bright in here! Go away! I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the mitten. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. Oh! It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts, rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. It's the owl! An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot. A wheeze. Who's wheezing? The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried-up raspberry bush. From twisted pines. From under the windfall. Hurry. Run. Don't look back. I felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became viscous like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. Start crawling, start swimming. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. I made a mistake by taking the glove. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole, and my soles were on a hard surface again. Oh, I stepped in a hole. I reached a clear path with one jump, and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard, and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and obediently gave way. Yay! We made it, guys. We did it. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, 5 meters away from my mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left in my body, too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. My mom's expression changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you, too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest. Did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was someone chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand. "Look over there! At the fence!" My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Are they hounds? Dogs! Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Maybe they just wanted to play. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me, like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attack Olya? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look. They're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner, just to keep myself from crying. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. Oh. We're fine then. And what for? What use do I have for this? I'm trying to fix my lighting. My candle. My lighting. Mitten. Of course! A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. Mom, look. This is Vova's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mom, look! Ew! A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Stop it this moment! Olya will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time, and you joke around like this! At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy who cried wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and you... Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night. You have school tomorrow. Oh, they were my pills. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all, just like the forest monsters, and Olya's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? What did I take? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference with it. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom. I was just thinking. What about, I wonder? It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son, and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything all right? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm all right, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt dimmer. Different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar and Lago's voices died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom, slipped into my own. Alright, what all can I mess with? My Triceratops figurine. I know about all sorts of dinosaurs. Velociraptors, Afrovenators, I'm gonna have a stroke. Hypsilophodonts. I swear I'm a dinosaur person, guys. I just don't know these. I remember going to the movies to see Jurassic Park back when we still lived in the city and taking pictures with the T-Rex in the hall. I love Jurassic Park, in case you can't tell by my poster in the background. Big fan of Jurassic Park. It turned its head and roared. It was awesome. And next to it was a Robotech transformer. I love this cartoon. When a jet fighter speeds up in the intro among the sounds of blaster fire, you know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. As Atreides space station is captured, Rick, get ready for battle. Cool. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Monsters, ghosts, UFOs. The Encyclopedia of Paranormal Phenomenon from Rossman Publishing. I've learned about the Loch Ness Monster, Medusa Gorgon, and Bigfoot from there. Olia's always scared of the book. She could barely handle sifting through the monster and alien sections with me, but the middle part where they start to talk about ghosts really freaked her out. I even remember hunting ghosts after I'd read that book. I measured the distance between items on my table every morning and checked if they moved due to some supernatural force come the morning. They didn't. But to be honest, what was I expecting? To meet Casper the Ghost? I think there's an Olia in my room. Dreamt of becoming an artist, and Dad bought me my first comic book. Fly magazine was the coolest. I especially liked the big space-related edition with alien monsters and that funny episode about a gendarme. I started drawing all kinds of stuff since that day, and I seem to be getting pretty good at it. One of my letters even got published in Fly once. Maybe someday they'll even publish my comic. It's pretty cool. Open. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the policeman's phone number along with the mitten there. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. No, we need to... I sat on the bed. No! And only then I noticed. There was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The corners of the room bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of burial sheets. Olia. Who else would be standing there? That's what I'm saying. I stood up and licked my dried up lips. Yeah, Olia. So funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thicker layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Ba-dum, ba-dum, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rungs wrestled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. And it's Olia. Gotcha! You didn't, actually. I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as the background. Ah, she has a rabbit on her little hoodie. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day, and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light-woven child. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little. before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. It's nothing, just... Olia ran up to the table, eyes round, and asked, You stole something and hid it there. Are you a thief? What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to my mind. That mitten, hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olia could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Olia wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. I know that she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we watched. Don't say things like that. I'm going to the glossary. Pioneer movement. Huh. Interesting. We're learning a lot today, guys. Don't say things like that. Olia nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer, and Olia leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and got lost himself. Now do you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? He must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Olia traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going to the houses, and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. They've already scouted the forest. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny, where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later? For me. I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olia as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. And a lot of stuff, like in the Wheel of Fortune. I'm having trouble talking. Sounds cool, right? Olia wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense. An owl wouldn't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... How should I put it? It's cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale. No, more like in that spooky tape our parents hid from us. Olia shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, it's just... I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind, and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children, so we could go and play together like we used to. Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Olia giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tasha, let's go watch Aladdin. Hang on, I want to see if that word is in here. It's not. Okay. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on. It's so boring alone, and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go, let's go! Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know. Let's play hide and seek. No, Olya. Then draw me a dino. Olya, please. Draw it! Draw it! Leave me alone already! I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olya from crying. All right, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't want to. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Boo. You'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full Triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops. Well, close enough. Olya rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. I can't speak. All right, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Want to bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Olya disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Olya's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olya doesn't sleep without it. And she digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. I'm gonna explore the entire room. Olya's saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Aww. Olya keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, she shuts them tight, so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. And with that, that's gonna be the end of another episode, guys! I think this is a good place to stop before we watch the cartoons and get involved with something. If something happens to Olya, I'm gonna be so upset. Olya better come out of this alright. But that's enough for this episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, as much as I'm enjoying playing this, because I'm actually really enthralled with this game, but if you like this as much as I do, hit the like button, subscribe to support the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.